So just so you know, if I ask you to repeat yourself, it's because you cut out. Not trying to be rude. Okay.
Okay, no, I completely understand, and my internet is very shady.
No problem. No problem. So we are live. Thank you so much for joining us.
Okay.
Hello and welcome to today's podcast of Her Version, a podcast dedicated to hearing stories of struggle to triumph, a platform that allows individuals to tell their truth in order to inspire and uplift others. I am your host, Sabrina Victoria. If you are new to this podcast, make sure you follow, like, subscribe, and share. Today we have an amazing guest speaker with us, Vevian, and I did not ask her how to pronounce her last name before she came on. How do we pronounce your last name? Vas Mediano. Vevian is a vulnerability coach with Live Happy, Live Healthy. She helps individuals break through their trauma and uncover their truest self in order to bring light to the person they are longing to become. Vevian is an awesome human who has been through her own personal struggles and is here to inspire other women to keep pushing through their own challenges. Did I lose you? We may have lost her. How is everyone doing today? I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Vevian actually just got to a new area and she looks like she's frozen in time. Lady, okay, there we go. We'll see if she'll come back on and join us. It's 9:00 here in Florida. And I'm not sure where Vevian is, but she said she is 6 hours time difference ahead. So she's somewhere on another planet, basically.
Hey, give me really bad. I might have to come back. Give
That's
me
okay.
a minute.
No problem. So anyways, today we are going to be talking about Vevian's coaching business, which she has a business called, her and her husband actually have it called Live Happy, Live Healthy, Live Happy, Live Happy, Live Healthy. Live Happy, Live Healthy.com. And she does so much stuff when it comes to relationships, self-love, especially within the female community. So her and I originally met in a group, Facebook group, and she was talking, or she had responded to somebody, and something about the way that she explained on how she lives her life just resonated with me so much. And I asked her to be my friend. And she went ahead and accepted my friend request. And we've been talking ever since. She is an amazing human being and just a really fun, awesome, beautiful soul. Hello.
Hey, I'm so sorry. Hopefully the Wi-Fi is better in here, but we will see. I have no idea.
No problem. How are you today, besides the obvious?
I'm good. I do apologize. I am good. Hopefully, it's a little gloomy here right now, but hopefully you can see me fine.
No problem.
All right.
Are we making some food in the background?
Yeah, let me just move a little bit. Sorry about that.
So I
There
heard
we
you
go.
walked to the gym in the rain. That's interesting.
I did. It's about 50 degrees here right now and raining. It's been raining for like 2 days. So yeah, I just put a coat on and walked in the rain.
Oh, I love that. Do you listen to something when you're walking?
Well, I ran to the gym, and I did not. Did I listen to anything? No, I didn't listen to anything on my way. I just actually was listening to the GPS because I'm in a new neighborhood that I'm not familiar with. So I listened to the GPS, and at the gym I did listen to stuff. And then on my walk, I walked home and I listened to a podcast with Gabor Mate.
Ooh, I don't know who that is. What was she talking about?
Talking about trauma and how people suffer from trauma and the effects of trauma on the body and how it sometimes happens to form into autoimmune disorders and other kind of disorders.
No kidding.
I'm always intrigued by the human mind and how our body holds on to trauma and things that we've been through, even as young as like 1 or 2 years old. So it's always fascinating to me.
Wow, very cool. I'll have to look her up. It's Gabra Manto.
No, Gabor Mate. He's like one of the. He's
it's a
one of
guy.
the spiritual. Yeah, I would say he's like one of the spiritual leaders of our time. Him and Eckhart Tolle and all these other amazing people that are very into the mind and spiritual growth and stuff like that. So, yeah,
Very
so many
cool.
people.
Very cool. I'll have to look him up. I'll probably get with you on Messenger and ask you how to spell that.
Yes.
But
Yes.
I love stuff like that. So before we get started, I want you to explain to everyone. This just fascinated me. So I apologize if it's like too much information, but when you and I have talked, you've explained to me this extremely minimalist lifestyle that you and your husband lead right now. Do you mind kind of like explaining that a little bit for our audience? Because I just think it's so cool. And I think there's so many people that want to do this. So like seeing somebody normal actually, going through with it and living like this. Go ahead.
So I've heard so many people say they would love to travel more, but they feel like they need to have more money or save up to make things happen, and then they get old and then they never get to do any of those things. So my husband, his whole family lives in Sweden, Stockholm, Sweden, which is where I'm right now. But back last year, about 2 years ago, we had decided that we were going to end up moving to Europe and leave the U.S. So the pandemic happened, and we ended up staying in LA a little bit more longer than we had anticipated. So we went and moved from a 1,200 two-bedroom, two-bathroom apartment where we also had clients that came and lived with us to a 600 square foot apartment. We sold, then we sold in December, we sold 98% of our things and moved out of the country with just 3 suitcases and 2 backpacks. And that was extremely liberating, just to literally get rid of all the things. And then we from December 15th to December 30th, we came here to Sweden and we celebrated Christmas, and we left the suitcases at his brother-in-law's house, and we just packed up backpacks. Backpacks are the size of like carry-ons, and we traveled to Spain for 3 weeks. We were in Costa Rica for 3 months. We were in Mexico for 3.5 weeks. We visited clients in Kentucky, and now we're back in Sweden, where we'll spend the summer and fall, and we'll visit various parts of Europe. But we have kept our budget fairly low. I can honestly say that it's been actually cheaper for us to live this way than it was to live in the U.S. I sold my car, even my car was paid off, so I sold it. I don't have a car. I don't have to pay for insurance or gas, and we just have been able to budget and find affordable places to live. And we were fortunate enough, like my friend lives in Mexico, so we stayed in Mexico for free. My husband has a friend that lives in Spain. We stayed there for free. But we've just been like able to live very economically, and we realized like just living out of a backpack for almost 6 months has taught me that we really don't need a lot in as far as like clothing and things. Like even though I'm like 41 and I feel like, oh, I need all the skincare, all that stuff. I was good for just using coconut oil on my face for 6 months. I mean, we were living in a tropical place, and it wasn't like dry and disgusting, so you don't need that much. And it was really interesting to see when you don't have a lot of things, how much more experience of life you get, and just being able to go outside. And then when we lived in Costa Rica, we lived in a 350 square foot home, and it had an outdoor space. So we spent a lot of time outside. That's where we ate. That's where we worked. And then we slept inside. And we had the main and most important thing when we go to places to go to is to find a full kitchen, because both me and my husband love cooking, and our health is very important to us. So the place we're staying in right now is probably under 300 square feet, but it has a full kitchen. It has a full stove, a microwave, and it's situated so we sleep upstairs. We have like a little staircase that leads. I'll actually turn the computer around.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, like since it is a small space, you saw my husband cooking in the background. So like there is like some inconveniences. And I would be outside talking to you right now, but it's raining. So that's also like not the advantage, but it has a full bathroom. I mean, the shower is a nice size and stuff. So I think like people need to get out of their head that they need to have all this money stashed away in order to travel. You don't need it. And in order for you to do it, you just have to have even just like a part-time job online. A full-time job with full-time income would be amazing. But we've been averaging, with expenses of travel, with airfare, with all of the food that we've been buying, and we buy very high quality food, and our rent, we've been averaging between $2,000 and $2,500 a month. So if you or you as a couple can make $2,500 a month, you could live like pretty well. In my opinion, we've been living fairly decently.
Yeah.
So I think the average person could find a way to make that kind of income. I mean, that's under $30,000 a year. So
especially, two people doing it.
Exactly. If you can make that happen, and you can get travel insurance. So if you're wondering like your health and stuff like that, you can get travel insurance. It's fairly inexpensive as well. And then public transportation is really affordable at different places that you go. Like here in Sweden, they have really good bus transportation, really good subway, really good, all the transportation here. The card is $100 a month, so you don't need an actual car, and walking distance to all the public transportation is really great. And where we were in Tamarindo, public transportation is also very affordable, and we had a small community of people that we knew over there. And and it's just you just make it happen. If there's a will, there's a way, and you make it happen instead of just saying I want to do this or I want to do that. If you want to make something happen, you make it happen.
100%. That is so cool. So is this like a combined effort? Like, whose idea was it?
So when we were thinking about moving to Europe last year, I just told my husband, I'm like, we should just sell all our stuff and just go ahead and move. Like, what's the worst that can happen? And we already had a friend that was living in Costa Rica. And we're like, let's do this travel thing. Like, let's make this really epic. And so we're like, why just go small, like go big or go home? So we're like, let's do this. And we're not young. We're not young as like the average backpackers. Like I said, I'm 41. My husband is 40. He's about to be 43. But we really wanted to go to certain places, and Costa Rica was like really high on our priority list. And now we feel like we're going to live in Costa Rica half of the time, and then here in Europe half the time, because like I said, my husband's family lives here. So I'm just really excited to see how this all works. And we don't have a home base right now. So this house that we're renting is just for 2 months. And then after the 2 months, we're going to decide where we want to live. We might go up to Gothenburg, which is in the north of Sweden. My husband has a friend there. I have a cousin I never met, and just discover that part. We have other parts of Europe that we want to go to, like Denmark, and I really would love to visit Greece. So we'll see what the rest of the year holds out for us, or the rest of the summer, fall. But Sweden in the summer is absolutely stunning. So this is my 11th time in Sweden. And we were in September. We got a chance to go to Gotland, which is an island just off of Stockholm, and it was absolutely beautiful. The greenery here is just fantastic, and we're a little bit more in the countryside in Stockholm. So it's about a 45, or it's about a 30-minute ride into downtown Stockholm. It's not that far. Like I said, everything is fairly easy, and everyone walks. Unlike the US, when it gets a little cold, everyone stays inside. Everyone walks outside. It could be below zero, and you'll see moms with babies and strollers walking their kids outside in the playground when it's snowing. So it's a much more active lifestyle here in Europe than it is in the States, where, like I said, everyone is stagnant and at home. It's a much more cozy life.
Wow, that is so awesome. That is so awesome. And I know that there's so many people that would love to do that. Just get rid of all of this stuff and do that. So
It's liberating.
yes, 100%. And like, you only live once, or whatever you believe, but like in the body where you're at right now.
Exactly.
And you might as well do all of the things that you want to be doing.
Exactly.
That's
I totally
so
agree
cool.
with you.
That's so
Thank
cool.
you.